All right. So this is the official curriculum that I'm going to share with you as I'm also a CCSI. I'm certified for the Cisco courses. I'm a Cisco certified systems instructor. So this is my official account through which I'm sharing the official curriculum of CCNA. So CCNA is implementing and administering Cisco solutions. This course is the foundation level course for any track you would like to go ahead with. So whether you want to decide to go for enterprise later on or collaboration, security, anything, we have all of these tracks. Even if like your current experience, which is into security, we have Cisco security track as well. So it would be a good start as CCNA that will give you the path towards the other tracks as well, that is the into the next level. So starting off with CCNA, it is always recommended to start with CCNA, into which you learn the basics as well as the advanced networking. So all the technologies and protocols involved in networking, and very much detailed information about IP addressing, uh, networking models and protocols about routing and switching. That is the major focus of CCNA. So let's go through the course curriculum here. So firstly, to begin with this course, the person who wants to opt and learn CCNA requires just the basic skills and knowledge about computer literacy, some operating system navigation, internet usage, and IP addressing knowledge. So not much, but just the basic information about the IT technologies and the computer literacy is required, and you're good to go. Then the course goal is to provide the learners with the knowledge and skills that are necessary to install, configure, and operate a small to medium sized network. Okay, so that is what you learn in CCNA. Now, this is the course curriculum. This is the day-wise breakup of all the topics we cover in CCNA. So here you will see a course flow along with all the topics that we are going to cover day-wise. So basically, it is a 5-day training officially, and in 5 days we cover all the topics from CCNA majorly, and then there are some self-study topics which you will get the access to through the PDFs and online material which you can go through. So like let's see the day-wise breakup of the course flow. That is, on day one we majorly cover about the basics, the fundamentals of networking. So starting off with the basic networking technologies. What is a network? What is networking? What are the different components and devices which comprise of a network? Then host-to-host communication models, which is the networking models. We have OSI and TCP/IP models, which are very important to understand about networking. So there's a detailed discussion about that on day one. Then operating Cisco iOS software, that how the different configuration modes works in the Cisco routers and switches. Then introduction about LANs and the LAN technologies. Then exploring TCP/IP link layer, in which you learn about the hardware addressing, MAC addressing, and then later we also talk about the logical addressing, that is IP address. So that is basically on day one, which is building the base, the foundation of the networking technologies. Yeah. Then on day two, we go a little bit more advanced, where you learn about the advanced switching. Then introduction about TCP/IP internet layer, where you learn about the networking, routing, and the devices that works on the internet layer, which is basically a network layer on OSI model. Then IPv4, addressing a detailed discussion about IPv4 address format and the benefits, disadvantages, some shortage of IP addressing, and the complete structure of IPv4 in detail here, along with subnetting as a solution to some of the problems in IPv4. Then TCP/IP transport layer, in which you learn about the functions of how transport layer works, because in the networking model, it is one of the most important layer where major of the task of the model is working here. And then the application layer, where you learn about the services and the port numbers that works on the in the networking models. Then exploring the functions of routing. So starting with what is routing and what are the different types of routings, the characterization of routing. We start with the routing here, and then we move towards the advanced routing protocols, which are the part of the routing. Then configuring a Cisco router, in which you learn from the scratch how to configure a Cisco router, from changing mode to going back to the different modes, backup, restore, and the basic configurations like IP addressing configurations, description, host names, and all on a Cisco router. That is on day two. Then on day three, we learn about the packet delivery process to understand how the packets moves from one hop to another, or from the source to the destination, and what are the different processes involved during this packet flow when it reaches the destination from the source. Then troubleshooting a simple network, different troubleshooting methods we discuss about, that how you can troubleshoot a simple network on different levels or different layers, based on the networking models. Then there is an introduction about the IPv6. So on day two, we already have discussed on day one and day two about IPv4. Then we have IPv6, which is going to be and is already the future of IPs and a new version of IP. So there is a discussion about that, and then some basic configuration on IPv6 as well. Then advanced routing, in which we discuss about, along with the characterization of routing, which had been already discussed in the previous days. We go more advanced on it, where we discuss about static and dynamic routing. So on day three, we discuss about static routing, and then there are different variations of static routing, like there is default static routing, there is floating static routing, that we discuss and cover in this topic. Then there is advanced switching, that is VLANs and trunk, that we do on day three. Then on day four, we discuss about routing between the different VLANs, in which you cover both switching as well as routing combined together. So you learn about VLANs and then making the VLANs communicate with one another through routing. Then there is dynamic routing, which is through OSPF. So in the new version of CCNA, there were some routing protocols earlier which have been obsoleted in the new version, and now we have OSPF as the most updated protocol which is being used nowadays in the industry. So there is a detailed discussion about OSPF, its functions, and then we have a configuration. So we do labs as well, which is one of the main focus of labs in the course. Then we have improving redundant switch topology. So here we discuss about more advanced switching for redundancy with ether channel. So how we can combine the multiple links in between the switches and make it a redundant topology. And we discuss about its advantages and different ways to configure ether channel. Then there are some other topics other than routing and switching. We have some security topics as well, and internet connectivity protocols. So from security, we have a topic called ACL, that is Access Control List, in which you learn about how you can implement security into your network by utilizing the router or a layer 3 functionality. Any layer 3 devices are capable of performing the packet filtering, hence providing security. So that's what we learn, how we can implement that, what is the configuration and troubleshooting for the same. Then we have enabling internet connectivity. So as we have talked about IP addressing, in IP addressing, we talk about public IPs, private IPs, and then you will know that for accessing the internet, you would need public IP addressing. But how we can access that public IP without wasting the use of IP addresses as well. So in which you learn about internet connectivity. So that is basically NAT. So we learn about different type of NAT here. Then day five, we cover a rest of some important topics which are newly added in CCNA to learn about the future technologies and some overview of some technologies like evolution of intelligent networks, monitoring tools, managing the Cisco devices, securing administrative access, and device hardening. So these are some new topics which have been added for you to know, because now CCNA is a composite course which is not binded with any track separately, but it is just one composite for all the tracks which you can go for in the next level. So here you must know a little bit, you must have an overview of all of these topics as well. So majorly, I would say still CCNA is comprised of routing, switching, and the basic networking topics like IP addressing, MAC addressing, uh, and the security models and so on. So that is still like 75% of CCNA, and rest is some additional topics like security, NAT, evolution of networks, like software defined networking, quality of service, and overview of that. So that is what you're going to learn in CCNA. So that is the day-wise breakup of CCNA, all the topics. If you have any questions, you can ask me.